Well, today I'm going to talk about what should you have in your carry-on luggage. Now I'm referring to carry-on luggage, which is the actual small bag you'll take with you onto the aeroplane and put in the overhead locker. The rules have changed since I last travelled. I took on a carry-on bag full of everything I thought I would need, and I didn't touch 90% of it until I got home and unpacked. So I could have saved us a lot of lugging around of unnecessary items. Besides, most of what I had in that bag wouldn't be allowed today. Okay, what's allowed and what's not allowed? Well, technically speaking, anything that can be used as a weapon or to construct a bomb. Now, define a weapon. You could probably kill somebody by choking with cotton wool buds. So, cotton wool buds could be a weapon, but that's being extreme. They're looking at things that could be used to assault people with or cause injury. So understandably, you're looking at things like scissors, metal nail files, razor blades, cutting equipment. Believe it or not, camera tripods. They're best in your check-in luggage. A camera tripod could make a pretty good club for belting someone over the head with, especially if they fell alongside you snoring. They will also put restrictions now on certain cosmetics. Anything that looks like it could be a compound used to make a bomb. So it's best to check with your airline to find out what size containers you can take. They will allow some. Look, I'm not a chemist, but I learned at high school how to mix certain things together to make certain bangs and booms and flashes. And I know there's one powder, and there's also a liquid, which you can buy from any Coles, Kmart, Aldi store. If you mix those two together, put them in a plastic bottle, 5 minutes later you get a pretty big bang and a big fireball. Now, I'm not going to tell you what those chemicals are, but you just buy them over the counter. So technically speaking, if you don't want to be held up on check-in, use a bit of common sense and just be careful what you put in your carry-on bag. Also, nothing electrical that could be used to assemble a bomb. That includes loose batteries, power adapters, socket adapters, power boards, even spare cables for charging mobile phones and iPads. Put them in your check-in bag. Play safe. Okay, what do you put in your check-in bag? What do you put in your carry-on luggage? Basically, just what you need in flight. That's not much. And these days there's in-flight entertainment, and if you're happy to watch the reruns of old movies, well, that's okay. But you might want to take some games or something for yourself or the kids to play with. But make sure you show them to the people at check-in first and get their approval. If they won't allow it, well, just nod, smile, and put it in your check-in baggage. Some reading material is handy. Also, probably a little snack. Now, don't take on food like fresh fruit, vegetables and that, which could interfere with customs and etc. A packet of minties is good. They're great to chew at takeoff and landing to balance the eardrums out. They freshen your breath up, so they give you a nice pleasant smile at the customs at the other end. I wouldn't advise too much chocolate, otherwise you'll be running up and down the aisle every half hour. And especially if they've got the remain seated, keep your seatbelts on. They can be rather inconvenient. What else? You need writing material. A little notepad and a pen, because they'll probably give you a customs declaration form, immigration forms to fill out on the plane. It's best to fill them out there rather than wait till you disembark. Otherwise you'll find yourself queuing up to get a pen and pencil at their counter and excuse me, end up getting behind a queue at their customs. If you've got those forms filled out in advance, you can be first in, first served and first through. Also make sure you've got your glasses there. Might want to put in a pair of cheap sunglasses. I say cheap. Never take anything that you cannot afford to lose. Jewellery, same with it. Leave it at home. Don't show off with it. A notebook with addresses in it. Your home address, addresses and names of where you'll be staying. Also contact numbers for the airline and also your embassy. I also have a little folder which has a copy of all my important documents. Copies of my visa, etc. and other currency. I normally have two of the copies. One in the carry-on bag and one in check-in. That's why I've got backup copies in case something goes wrong and I lose them. A little neck base. You can get these ones these days that got some sort of fabric in them. Don't get the ones with seeds in them, because they mightn't get through customs. Probably a little eyeshadow thing, probably a toothbrush, basic stuff like that. A comb. And also medicines you'll need in flight. Now the ones you won't be needing in flight, put them in your check-in baggage. But just stuff that you probably need for that day, have in the your cabin carry-on. Good idea too, you get these little plastic ponchos. Put one of those there in case when you get out the other end it's one of those tropical downpours. But basically that's all you need to take. Don't overload it. If you get there and it's hot and you're wearing a jumper, you'll have room to take the jumper off and put it in that carry-on bag. Make sure your carry-on bag's got some marking on it so that you can identify it very easily. As for things that are valuable like money, etc., I suggest you get one of those, they call them fanny belts, around your waist. And that way when you go through the check-in, you can put it through the x-ray and not have to empty your pockets out. There have been cases of people emptying their pockets out and putting their cash and all their bits and pieces in one little tray, and it goes through the x-ray machine and they get held up on the body scanner. And when they get out the other side, they find the previous passenger has inadvertently mistaken some of the things in your tray as belonging to them. So, if you got it in a little body bag, little fanny pack, it just goes through in one complete go and less chance of anything falling out. Well, basically that's it. There is a video on Terminal 3 in Manila Airport. If you can find that and look at it, it shows you a display case of all the things that they will not allow in carry-on luggage. Now I'm referring here to carry-on luggage. Most of these things can be put in your check-in luggage because they don't expect you to drill a hole in the floor and hop down into the cargo bay during in-flight. But basically you don't need much, don't take much. The less you've got, the less hassles you'll have. Well, that's about it. Well, as you can see, it's a change of scenery. I thought I'd come out to our glass house to give you something a bit different from the boring pictures on the back of the wall behind me. Maybe the next one the plants will be in flower. Oh well, see you until next time.